So in this one, what we're going to do is we're going to understand, match, plan, and implement the has cycle method. So very similar to the length function, we're going to need to iterate over every single element, right? So what we're doing is we're writing a function that takes a list and linked list and returns true if the list contains a cycle. We're actually implementing it as a method. And so it takes self, the linked list is self, and then it's going to return true if the list contains a cycle. So no node is pointing to none. And so in a finite list, if no node points to none, that means that it must point somewhere back in the list. So here, if we looped over, we said, current node is this node, and then we said if current node is dot next is not none, set current node to this node. Then we'd move on to 2, and we'd keep moving on until we got to 8, and then we would continue to move on in this circle. So what we need to do is stop moving on if we've seen a node before. So let's write this out. So we need to somehow keep track of which nodes we've seen before. Then we need to iterate over each node. If we've seen the node before, return true. Otherwise, add the node to the list and increment to the next node. Okay, and then if we don't find one, if we get to the end of the while loop and we found a none, then we return false. Right? And that'll basically solve our problem. Okay, so let's quickly implement this. We'll need to keep track of which nodes we've seen before. For this, right now I'm going to use the set. There's another method, which is to just modify the nodes, set them as visited. So adding a property to each node, that's something that you can do in a linked list. So that's one way to do it, and you might be asked to do that in an interview. So, but I'm just going to use a set for this. So visited equals set. Then we're going to iterate over each node. While, and then we'll need to keep track of which our current node is. Current node equals self.head. And then also if, you know what, while current node dot next is not equal to none. Or we could even say while current node is not equal to none. So if we've seen the node before, as in if it's in the visited list, so if current node in visited will return true. So capitalize that T. Pretty simple. Otherwise, add the node to the list and increment to the next node. So visited dot add current node, and then current node equals current node dot next. So we're only incrementing the current node if we haven't seen it. Otherwise, we're returning true and being done with it. And then we will return false if we do get to the end. So let's run these tests. All right, and we passed all of our tests. So that's how you solve that one. Now it's going to be very similar. A lot of these problems where you'll be looping over using this method where it's while current node is not equal to none, current node equals current node dot next. That's basically how it works. All right, thanks.